WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. It's Election Day in Aberdeen. Folks are heading to the polls to select a mayor and Ward 4 alderman. Our Quentin Smith was in Aberdeen and finds out what folks want in their next leaders.
Many Aberdeen residents say they want a mayor who will help bring more jobs and businesses to the area. But before that can happen, this is the first step, coming out to the polls and casting their vote for the candidate they think can lead them in that direction. This was a common sight in Aberdeen all throughout the day. Voters casting their ballot for candidates they think can best serve and lead the town.
Voting is so important for being my age. I remember when I couldn't vote.
Pastor Willie Davis Sr. is a longtime Aberdeen resident. He wants his mayor to be a person who's honest, has strong leadership skills, and is committed to helping the city grow.
The integrity, not if you don't know what's right, seek what's right, and then do what you know is right. And I believe if we do that in this town, we'll be all right.
We need strong leadership, not folks with big power.
When voters showed up to the polls, many had one thing in common. They want the new leaders to create more economic development opportunities for the area.
Get everything back where it was. KFC, Pizza Hut, Pizza Inn, Walmart, everything. I want it back here because I stay here.
We need jobs, most of all. We need jobs. Then we need stores where you can spend your money. You won't have to take it to Amory or to Columbus or to Tupelo.
Joyce Vassar has lived in Aberdeen for more than 2 decades. She admits she's tired of seeing her hometown being shown in a negative light. The town is known for its infighting amongst board members. Now, many residents are hoping the new leaders they're voting for will bring a new energy and create a more positive outlook for the Monroe County town.
I'm hoping that when the new ones come in, that they will sit and listen and learn and discuss things and then come to a conclusion as what need to be done for the city of Aberdeen.
I hope the new administration come in and get the people to come together and do things that will benefit all of us. That this town and this city will move forward.
The polls will remain open until 7 p.m. Voters are required to bring their ID, and they're also encouraged to wear face masks as they enter inside the voting precinct. Reporting in Aberdeen, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
And of course, we'll be following the races throughout the night. Be sure to tune in with us on WCBI News at 9 and 10 for the results from tonight's elections. Meanwhile, the Columbus City Council will talk about requiring face masks in city businesses. That's just one hot item on the agenda. WCBI Scott Martin joins us live from the municipal complex. Scott, has the city made any decisions yet?
Well, Joey, it was a big conversation amongst the council members here in Columbus. And so far, what they passed today was passed to write up a resolution that would require people in the city of Columbus to wear those face masks starting Thursday. They've got to get that resolution written up first and get all the facts in order. I just want to talk about what some of the council members said. Councilman Mickens was saying this is serious. He said he has been in restaurants and places where people were serving food where they weren't seen wearing a mask. And he said this is a problem with the increase in coronavirus across the state, even here in Lowndes County. Also, Chief Fred Shelton got up and spoke. They can issue citations, and that will be put in the resolution that will be drafted up by the Columbus City Council. Those citations for people or for places of businesses not cooperating could get a $300 to $1,000 fine. Now, it's just like when you get pulled over for running a stoplight. An officer has to see you not complying with the city ordinance. We'll, of course, keep you updated on this information. We're going to try to grab some sound with the mayor about this resolution coming up in a little bit. We're live in Columbus. Scott Martin, WCBI News.
Governor Tate Reeves has tested negative for COVID-19, but Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann is positive. The governor came into contact with House Speaker Philip Gunn at this bill signing to retire the state flag last week. Gunn, along with several other state representatives, have tested positive for the coronavirus. Reeves also says his family has tested negative. Hosemann and Gunn say they are at home quarantining after the positive tests, and following doctor's orders, 8 lawmakers have contracted the virus. There are 11 other suspected cases connected to the state capitol.
We have not seen.
And the Mississippi State Department of Health puts a public order in place keeping some hospitals from doing elective surgeries due to the uptick in the coronavirus across the state. 957 new COVID-19 cases were reported today, along with 44 new deaths. Those deaths, health experts say, happened between July 3rd and 6th. Hospitals in Hinds, Rankin, Madison, Forest, Jones, and Washington counties are to refrain from operations that would keep someone in the hospital in an effort to free up space for coronavirus patients. State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs says right now is the worst the state has seen as far as the outbreaks go.
Stay home. Not only don't go to small groups, but not anything with small groups, but stay home as much as you can. The coronavirus is the worst that it's been in this whole time. We're seeing massive number of new cases, and I just challenge you to call any of your primary care docs or urgent care clinics and say, hey, what are you seeing? They are just overburdened with people showing up and getting coronavirus tests.
Health officials say about 20% of the new cases are in those 18 to 29 years old. In a news release on Monday, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency stated that international students may not take a full online course load and remain in the United States. Our Cash Matlock talks with representatives from Mississippi State University today about what this means for international students there. He joins us live in the studio with the latest, Cash.
Well, Joey, Mississippi State University has plans to open its campus up to in-person classes on August 17th. The university will be offering some classes on campus and some online. But if the state or federal government forces universities to go fully online, that won't be good for some international students. MSU says it's working hard to keep those students affected in Starkville.
We want to make sure our international students stay and that we're doing everything we can do as a university to make them feel comfortable, safe, secure in their status here at Mississippi State University in Starkville.
Dr. Julie Jordan is the interim vice president for research and economic development at Mississippi State University. She says her office has heard from several concerned students since Monday's ruling.
Obviously, it makes them nervous. I mean, I'm sure they're all very anxious. Our offices have received any number of calls this morning from students and emails from students, as well as from faculty who work very closely with them. So everybody's concerned about this since this happened yesterday.
She says right now, international students attending MSU should be able to remain in the U.S.
Mississippi State plans to be fully open in August. On August 17th, classes are going to resume. They won't look like they did. Most of them some will be online, some will be in person.
Dr. Jordan says the only way students at MSU will be affected is if the university is forced to go fully online.
If we are announced that we are in a fully online only mode, then those students will have to return to their home countries.
The loss of international students is sure to have an economic impact on not just Starkville, but the entire country.
International students are paying tuition at the non-resident tuition rate, which is significantly higher, obviously, than in-state resident tuition. And they buy homes or they rent apartments and they buy food and they go to the grocery store. So the hundreds of thousands of international students that this would potentially impact across the country is significant.
Not to mention a personal impact on each student.
Some of them have dependents here. They brought their families with them. It affects their families. Clearly, if they have a job, if they're a graduate assistant, they're here, they have a job, they're working on their PhD. If they go home, that all goes away.
Dr. Jordan says MSU is working to communicate with the students and faculty regarding the matter, and she offered this direct message to those affected.
We will get answers, and we want you to be on this campus, and we want you to feel safe and secure, and we're going to do everything possible to make that happen.
Well, since MSU is offering both online and in-person classes, they will have to inform the Student and Exchange Visitor Program and then reissue I-20s for every single student with a note stating that the school is operating in the hybrid model for the fall. At least one face-to-face course will be required for international students.
Scattered showers and storms again this afternoon. It seems like that has been what we've been dealing with for weeks and weeks right now. Some good downpours here near Ripley, in and around Pontotoc in Pontotoc County. We've had some heavier downpours around Tupelo and Just north of Starkville, north of Louisville, south of Louisville, we have some showers and storms approaching Lowndes County at this point. A live view in downtown Louisville, Mississippi. Looking back to the north, you can see the dark clouds and some downpours. Low 70s for lows tonight. And guess what? More showers and storms tomorrow. High somewhere in the mid 80s. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
A Macon man is suing a former Noxubee County deputy, claiming he was assaulted in jail. Kenneth Reed claims that Eddie Franklin pushed his head against the wall and he was hit in the mouth. Reed says 3 of his teeth were knocked out during the January 7th, 2018 incident. And in federal court documents, Reed says he was originally arrested by Macon police and was on the phone with his mother trying to figure out a way to get out of jail. Former Sheriff Terry Grassery allegedly told Reed to get off the phone, and he explained what he was doing. His legal team claims that's when Franklin allegedly accused Reed of being disrespectful to the sheriff. Reed is asking for damages to be determined by a jury. A Mississippi prison escapee is captured in Nashville. Arthur Lestrick was serving a life sentence at the Mississippi State Penitentiary at Parchman for capital murder in Copiah County. Lestrick was reported missing Sunday. The Mississippi Department of Corrections says he'll be taken back to Parchman. A Gordo man is facing a child sex crime. 23-year-old Anthony Peck is charged with sexual abuse of a child. Pickens County Sheriff Todd Hall says the investigation started about a week ago after Gordo police contacted his office. Sheriff's deputies and the Department of Human Services continued the case. Hall says the victim is a very young child but would not reveal an age or if Peck had any relation to the child. Peck remains in jail. His mugshot was not available today or on the department's website.
Chickasaw County officials encourage residents to fill out the census forms. Millions of dollars in federal grants are at stake. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
Welcome back, everyone. In spite of a slowdown due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the 2020 census is still underway. In One North Mississippi County, officials are reminding everyone about the importance of being counted and how it can impact the entire area.
The theme for this year's census is "We're Counting on You." Chickasaw County officials encourage all residents to take a few minutes and fill out the census forms. Millions of dollars in federal grants are at stake, and those grants are distributed based on population counts.
Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country.
Early in the year, the 2020 census was being promoted heavily at the federal, state, and local levels. Then came COVID-19.
There's so much going on right now to distract people from that census, and we want everybody counted, and this emergency management director's got big ideas for a small county.
And those big ideas cost money. That's why Chickasaw County EMA Director Linda Griffin wants to make sure people know the importance of completing the census.
Our citizens, we want them to have the best emergency response equipment, the best trained personnel they can. Our county is just as important as those counties that have hundreds of thousands of people.
Millions of dollars in federal funds are at stake, and it all comes down to an accurate population count every 10 years. And that money has paid for storm shelters, vehicles, infrastructure improvements, and even school lunches. The grants can also attract industrial development. Houston Mayor Stacey Parker says the census is a unique opportunity every 10 years for people to help their community with very little effort.
How many people get on Facebook? You know, we take time to get on Facebook, whether we read it, respond to it, or put things on there ourselves. It doesn't take 5-10 minutes to fill out a census form. And then all you can do is turn it around and mail it in.
So far, the self-response rate in Chickasaw County for the 2020 census is 58%. You can also fill out the census online. The deadline has been extended through October. In Houston, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Now, you can also call in your census information. Those households that haven't responded will be visited by a census employee, and more information is on the website census.gov. All right, another sultry day, right? Is that what you would call it?
Sultry, steamy, stormy.
Yeah. Stormy, there are a few of those out there.
We're going to do it again. Let's just copy and paste this over here. 70s in the morning, 80s in the afternoon. We'll likely see more scattered showers and storms, lightning and heavy rain. Those are the main threats right now. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Your WCBI First Alert Accuweather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
More showers, more storms in the forecast. Let's talk about your Wednesday. In the morning, 74 degrees at 7 o'clock. Have the umbrella on standby. You may need it early and often during the course of the day. A 60 to 70% chance for some scattered showers and storms. And because of that, highs will likely be only in the mid 80s. Here's our time lapse from downtown Columbus today. It just looked and felt like summer out there. You can see some of those building clouds. A very nice skyscape out there today. Clouds very vertical. And that is typical this time of year. Not really a lot of wind shear in the atmosphere to tilt these storms and really produce widespread strong to severe weather on these lazy, hazy days. But we, as you can see right there in Columbus, still have some storms out there. 87 degrees, dry at the Air Force Base, but we do have some good downpours around. We'll show you radar in just a bit. 79 in Tupelo. You've had a little bit of wet weather. Let's go to Vernon, Alabama at Durham's Pharmacy. Still a little bit of sunshine, not too bad over there right now. 83 degrees in Lamar County. And in Louisville, Mississippi, you can see the ominous looking clouds just to the north. A little raindrop right there on our camera lens, 87 degrees, but we have seen some wet weather around Winston County. Seems like that has been the bullseye down here in Winston County, especially over the last week. But from Macon to Louisville down here, Winston, Noxubee County, some heavier downpours right along the county line down there. So heavy downpours in some locations right now, just north of downtown Starkville into western Clay County. Very good downpours, a little bit of thunder and lightning in this. It is really coming down there just west of West Point, and some additional downpours now moving back to the southwest of Pontotoc and also here in and around Ripley in Tippah County at this time. So some disturbed weather across the southeast right now. That will be the general rule tonight and tomorrow. A lot of the activity will pulse back down tonight. We'll keep some showers and storms in the forecast, low 70s, and we will flare more of that activity back up tomorrow. Mid 80s for highs. There's going to be a weak disturbance to help initiate some additional widespread storms we think in the region tomorrow. You can see that maybe already in the morning hours. So as we mentioned, have the umbrella on standby early. You may need it often during the morning hours, and some of that will likely carry over into the afternoon. That will pulse back down, it would appear tomorrow night, and then we'll likely see more scattered showers and storms here on Thursday. As we get into Friday and the upcoming weekend, this northwest flow pattern sets up, and we may have some storm clusters come on down from the northwest, and some of those may give rise to some gusty wind and some otherwise stormy conditions too. Now, aside from that, it's going to be warm and steamy, highs in the low 90s, and the heat index at times 100 to 105 plus.
The high school football tour heads back into 3A ball. We check in with the Winona Tigers when we come back.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The man responsible for overseeing Alabama football's offense is currently in recovery, according to Alabama Athletics. In a statement from the Crimson Tide Athletic Department, offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian received heart surgery just last week on July 2nd. The procedure was to correct a congenital cardiovascular anomaly that was found in an annual physical required for the coaching staff. Alabama Athletics say Sarkisian is home in Tuscaloosa and is expected to make a full recovery. The high school football tour continues as we go back into 3A to preview the Winona Tigers. Coming off an 8-4 record, the Tigers look to reload after experiencing key departures. The Tigers are stop number 16 on the high school football tour.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
Practice harder and do what we're supposed to do.
That's the mentality the Winona Tigers carry into the 2020 campaign. The Tigers are putting in the work now in the weight room to be ready for football on Fridays.
Our kids do a good job of working during the off season, so we know come season time that kind of what we're going to get out of our kids.
One known fact is that the Tigers have to move forward without all end zone athlete and now Memphis Tiger and Darius Coffey, who accounted for nearly 90% of the team's total offense last season.
Now, we're not trying to replace Andarius. We're not. I'm not trying to ask Jakevion, our quarterback this year, to be Andarius. I'm trying to ask him to be Jakevion.
However, the team is confident that junior quarterback can step in and play his game.
He's very accurate. He make the right reads. He might not be a good runner like Andarius, but I feel like he can fill the quarterback spot real well.
With the infusion of young talent on this team, both coaches and players are excited about the heights this team can reach.
Most of our skill guys are back, and we're excited. I'll tell you, we're excited about it. Our kids have been working hard, and we're kind of ready to what's going to take place.
It's fun. Like, there's so many weapons everywhere.
Even though Winona has new weapons and lost key players, the same standards hold true.
Expectations are always going to be the same here in Winona, I promise you.
They work in and out every day. They work hard for it, and we're going to work hard for them.
The Tigers start the season on the road against Eupora August 21st. Reporting in Winona on the high school football tour, Chris Bolton, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Winona High School is brought to you by Bank of Kilmichael.
Of course, there's still plenty more to come on the high school football tour. Let's take a look at some of those upcoming stops. Tomorrow, we get back to action with stop number 17, the Water Valley Blue Devils. And then following that on Thursday, stop number 18 features the Nettleton Tigers. Stop number 19 on Friday will be urching it up with East Union. And then stop number 20 on Saturday, we head up north to check out Boonville. On Sunday, stop number 21, we'll check out the Hatley Tigers, and then we head into Alabama week. So stop number 22 will be South Lamar. Stop number 23 will be Lamar County. Stop number 24 will be Pickens County, and stop number 25 will be Gordo. For that full schedule, you can go and check out our social media. That's it for sports. More for you when we come back.
Some good downpours out there right now. I think the heaviest downpour with thunder and lightning there in Clay County, west of West Point. Some good rain for you. And that's just the way it's been. That's just the way it's going to be. Warm and sultry, Joey.
Yeah,
90s,
there's
the
that
index. Well over 100 at times here later this week.
Well, can't complain about no rain these days, that's for sure.
It's every day, it seems like.
By August, we'll be calling for it.
That's right.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.